All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Man of War Cup Season 4. We're doing, because it's quite a long season, a mid-season review where we're going to go and have a look at the standings and then just have a bit of a update on how each of the teams are progressing this season round. As always, we've got Connor is here to help, and we've got a ringer because Luke, obviously being a proud father now, had to duck out for parental duties. So we've brought in Lewis at last minute. So thanks for rocking up, Lewis, to fill the gap last minute.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be the Z team for you.
Oh, fantastic! You love to see it. And we will say that you are here because we literally couldn't get anyone else. Um, just so you're aware. Um,
And
right?
I'm here because my wife is at work. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I feel you there. That's pretty much here. So I figured what we would do is I'd just go through, I reckon, the standings first, just give an update of where everyone is now that the round on Spike's actually all ticked over and it's all up to date. We'll go through all the teams, spend about 5 minutes of each team, and then we'll just have a very quick look at the matchups for the next week and maybe some quick playoff predictions. Um,
Yeah. Were you
Rightio.
going to share your screen as well, Carl?
Am I going to share my screen? Fuck no, you have to
Yeah.
guess what I'm
Well,
doing.
I mean, I can
Right?
probably I'll
Um,
write it still.
so I'll share my screen. There we are.
We'll just play like the fantasy equivalent to animal, mineral, vegetable to try and figure out which character you're talking about at
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
given time. Yeah.
Rightio. Okay, so I'll bring up the standings first quickly, or bring up the spike so we can have a look at how they're going. You boys won't be able to see this, but you should be able to just load it up yourself. So we've got True Love Never Dies is in the lead, closely followed by Planets of the Orcs. Then you have Carl's Calendar Girls, and they've made quite the comeback. Seraphon's All Stars, Short Kings on Tour, Crackheads of Chaos, Steve's Jobs, Flavor Crusaders, Weebs and Chads, Action Post, Devil Wears Prada, and Bed Bath and Beyond in last place, having a bit of a rough season. Um, yeah, so that's where the current standings are. Um, and in terms of points, like it's a pretty clear lead by the Undead, by Luke's Undead.
It
Um,
hasn't lost the game yet.
yeah, every other team, like the next 5 teams, are pretty close, but yeah, Luke's team is absolutely crushing it. Who knew when he played a team where his best player, couldn't fucking die in his first game. Rightio. That is the standings. Let's have a look. Let's get into this. Let's have a look at some of the teams. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about the standings, boys? You notice?
Maybe we can come back a little bit to the overall standings later. But my big highlight is that both Chaos teams are coming last. Oh, I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
Crackheads are came in the
Yeah.
middle, but
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a sad
Traditional chaos.
environment for
Yeah,
poor Chaos.
yeah. It is. It's not. It's not. It is a bit of a sad season. Poor. We'll have to talk about Jethro's the Port Noble team. They're having they're very rough season this time around. So I figured we would just go through the teams. Can you boys see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just in order. So we should start from the Crackheads of Chaos and go across. Do you want to do it that way or nor the first to last? What do you reckon? We've got a fair few to get through.
Yeah, yeah. I'll do a little 5 minute timer.
Yeah. So we'll do 5 minutes. We'll go through what some of the advancements are and get some thoughts on what we think is hot, what's not, what to look out for in the future, and what we're going to be seeing. So I might as well start with the Crackheads of Chaos because this team's doing quite nicely. I think it's sitting literally right in the middle of the pack, and the first thing you'll notice is I think he just picked up his Minotaur. So he's
Yeah.
got the Minotaur now. He's got the full roster. So I'll go through this one. So it's 3 rerolls. He's got the Apothecary. He's got 4 Fan Factor. No cheerleaders, and a pretty solid spread of SPP. He's got a Hobgoblin with kick. He's got like a ball carrier Hobgoblin. A little bit of guard in there. A little bit of Mighty Blow. He's actually gotten the Bull Centaur Shorehand, so he has a ball carrier Bull Centaur and another one block, which is pretty good. He has White Nose Escobar, the Strength 4. Chaos Dwarf blocker, which I think he got after his first game, and a Speed 7 Jimmy Fingers Hobgoblin, who I think he got like after his second game or something. Um, So pretty full roster. I don't think he's taken like any losses this season. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think notably as well, I think this team has the highest TV in the league currently. I think now that there's a Minotaur in it.
yes, I think
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right. So it's sitting
yes,
at almost
1500.
1,000. Yeah, 500. That's actually getting quite crazy. Um,
But on the face of it, I was expecting probably a lot more level ups based on the TV. But yeah, there's a couple of extra hobgoblins. There's the Minotaur now,
and
but like
I
it's
think
The
pretty
level up's
wide
quite
level up.
spread as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like he's got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people all on level 2. Like that's pretty good. That's more than half
Mm,
the team.
yeah. I think he's
yeah.
done quite well there, and I think he's gotten a lot really on his rolls. I'm not sure if these guys have general. They do have general, so he has got blocked there. But I mean, getting a strength up straight away, that's basically an extra 50k, and the speed up on the hobgoblin's great too. That's like an extra 30 or 40k or something like that. So some stat increases will always like bring your TV up. Um, I don't think we're seeing super scary um, Chaos Dwarves yet, but we might see him next season if he brings them back. Um,
My only thing that immediately strikes me is I don't feel like anything's very focused. Like for example, if that speed up hobgoblin also had sure hands, that would be awesome. But he's got the speed up hobgoblin, and then separately he's got 2 other pieces with sure hands.
mm,
Similarly, like he's got the strength 4 guy, that's awesome. He separately has a mighty blow guy. Like if the strength 4 guy had mighty blow, like it just feels like uh it'd be awesome if he had a couple of people with like 2 skills to like really
yeah, I
like
think
put
but
something
I think we'll
together.
see that. I think they're because this White Nose Escobar is kind of a
Yeah,
beast.
he's only 1 touchdown
Yeah,
away.
he's been going hard on this guy. He's been quite hard to put down. He's been getting a lot of injuries, White Nose, I'm pretty sure. We have a look at his stats. Um, yeah, he's broken armor a lot. Actually, hasn't. Yeah. Where's casualties? Does it not tell us casualties? It says he's inflicted 13 injuries, which means he's broken armor 13 times. But it doesn't tell us exactly how many. Hasn't killed anyone. So, yeah, he has been doing quite well. That strength 4. I mean, just having a frontline dwarves is pretty dope. It's pretty hard to get through.
Speaking of the real high TV,
Hmm.
he's got 13 players. Does he need 13 players?
I think 13's not bad, particularly in this league. I think. Um, I think this league is pretty bashy, and you'll take losses. And you don't want to be players down.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience. So
Like I feel like 12 would be fine, particularly with all his armor. But at the same time, I couldn't tell you what to drop. I wouldn't drop a 4th hobgoblin. I feel like you need at least 4 of them.
I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
go any higher than 13 unless you're versing a really dangerous team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think 13's fine for now. I think like he spent all his money, so he's gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think this team has taken any losses. I think he
I
might
don't
have
think so.
taken 1 hobgoblin loss. I think he might have got like an armor busted hobgoblin or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
quite fine. So he might just save up some money for some losses because losing like a Chaos Dwarf now or a Bull
yeah, it'd be
Centaur would
brutal.
be fucking rough.
That's a good
We-
point though, Connor. As far as like anyone that you'd cut, because with 13 players, obviously 2 of these players don't get to be on the field. So I feel like it's even now just a difficult choice to decide who isn't making the cut to be on the field at any given time as well.
Yeah.
I think I've seen what he likes to do is keep his kick person off on defense. So he only brings his sorry, on offense. Yeah, we'll have to see how this Minotaur goes too because he's only just got it. So hopefully we've kind of seen mixed results from the Minotaur. I think he either seems to pop off or do nothing. Yeah, that's any other thoughts about the crackheads of chaos?
Look, I'm pretty afraid. He's my game next the coming week, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think that they're not super scary yet, but they're getting there. They're starting to get to the scary stage. No mutation, so he hasn't rolled any doubles yet. That's a big thing to note. So no claw.
I mean, he did roll double. It was just a double 6.
Oh yeah. So no claw. Chaos Dwarves. Yeah, that's when it gets fucking nuts. Yeah, I think that's they're a good team. They're doing quite well. I think they had a rough start, but I think they're coming into their own now. They're getting going. And that's the Crackheads of Chaos. The highest TV team in the league, I believe. Oh, what happened to the Lisbon? Alright, let's have a look at the planets of the Orcs. And these guys, I think they might be my pick to potentially win. Just because I know how...
You couldn't even do level ups.
Yeah, I know. I do know how scary like Orcs can be when they get going.
They're definitely a bit of a fan favorite, I'd say. Like, Rook's been... It's a scary team. I mean, an indication of how scary the team is the fact that he literally only has 2 linemen.
Yes, yeah.
Like, he's just got 4 blitzers, 4 black orcs, a thrower.
Yeah, I think he's got some money in the bank here for... how many players has he got? Has he got...
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got a full team, finally.
Yeah, so... He hasn't spent this money yet. I don't know if we'll see him use it to grab just a 3rd line orc just for a bench, or if he'll hold on to it to replace a player that gets cacked. But at this point, I don't think he really has any players he wants to lose really, because he's been quite lucky, hasn't all his players who have died have been linemen.
I think he lost a blitzer.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think first game he lost a blitzer. Yeah, but this Akila the Orc is scary.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty scary because this stacks. So
maybe because I think this is the first time anyone's ever taken piling on. Maybe explain to us how that stacks.
Like this is when you get into murder territory. So you don't see these combos much, probably in the leagues that we've played, because you don't get to high enough TV. But when you start getting to 1,400 plus TV, this is really common. So basically, you got block, you got Mighty Blow. That makes sense. Mighty Blow adds 1 to any armor injury roll. So you just punch something, you try to kill it. When it goes down the ground, you use Piling On, which means that he basically can make another armor roll. Like he can re-roll the armor roll or the injury roll. And you can use Mighty Blow on it again. And then this also stacks with claws. So it's called the power combo, I think, or something like that, which is block, piling on, Mighty Blow, claws. Right? And that's what makes Chaos Dwarves later on at like higher TVs really scary, because they will just murder your whole team. They don't even bother scoring. They just pitch clear and walk the ball in.
So I guess Rook can't get claws, but this dude here is pretty good. Mighty Blow, piling on.
He is very scary.
Yes.
Like even just when we played, it was just he didn't actually get that much work done, but it was every turn. It was, what am I doing to make sure Akila the Orc isn't killing a key piece? Basically every turn.
Yeah, and he'll probably protect him. He's got some other pieces, but like this guy's leveled up. I mean, honestly, we will probably just see Mighty Blow and piling on this guy as well. And tackle. To be honest, we'll probably see, because he's got block tackle. We'll probably see Mighty Blow piling on this guy, right? Like that's just how they roll. And then the Black Hawks, he's already got 1 with guard. The other 3 just get guard.
Yeah.
And then eventually, if you get something else, you put stand firm on them.
Stand firm. Yeah.
Or if you really just want to lean into it, you give them Mighty Blow as well. And then you grab the ball and you murdered the whole opponent's team.
Yeah. I guess going back to the earlier comment about Woody, and I think Lewis said he expected more level ups from Woody. Like Woody had like 8 guys leveled up, I think. Brooks only got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 level 2 and 1 level 3.
Yeah, but Brooke has been focusing his SPP quite hard on the blitzers, I would say.
Yeah, they're all pretty close to level 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
he's been trying to rush to get this combo, I think, on 1 or 2 people.
Not everyone.
Yeah. He's unfortunately, in true Brook form, he's been thwarted a bit because he just can't help but roll stat increases on people, or just doubles to get, a Blodge Orc. Because why the fuck not?
It's
It's
funny
a
though.
hard knock life not rolling double sixes. Oh, sorry, it's a hard knock life rolling double sixes.
Yeah, it is. It's tough,
Yeah.
you know.
Because if that was his thing, I don't know. I guess dodge is good, like just inherently. But like, imagine if he gets the doubles with a killer to orc and gets jump up. Like that's the dream, right?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking rough.
Piling on
Yeah.
mighty blow block, jump up, boom.
Yeah.
Dude's just doing it every turn.
No way, leap all the way, just for styling. Just have an orc, a leaping orc that just flips in and then tackles down to the ground.
Alright.
This all
That,
sounds good to me. I don't know why you were saying that in a jokey voice. You know,
Also,
I think this should happen.
Are you
This-
saying that Carl just sounds like a joke?
Your user.
That's 5 minutes too.
Okay.
We've
The
been
other
holding
thing is-
over Brooks' name long enough.
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to say is they're definitely agile orcs. He's made a lot of dodges and a lot of fucking passing plays.
He's got that sweet video on Facebook.
That's like he does. I've seen him do like one of those a game, and it's been quite painful for me, and we'll discuss why right now when we look at my team, Flavor
yeah?
Crusaders,
I
who
see
are
you're
having
definitely going for the
rough
low
season.
TV team.
Yeah.
Carl?
As you will notice,
One
I've taken some losses, and literally, I don't have a single peasant left from my starting roster.
Carl, what happened here?
I think losing the knight early on was pretty rough, but it probably steamrolled with losing a player every single game. I've had a player die every single game. Actually, two died one game. And unfortunately, unlike Luke, I couldn't bankroll my way out of it. I didn't roll very well on my winnings. So I've been not being able to keep up the... You know, I talked about the peasant economy in the first... when we did it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep up the peasant economy, so I haven't been able to...
that inflation's really gotten you.
Yeah. And on top of that, I don't know if we didn't film it, but if you really want to watch two teams that are hopelessly bad at the game, watch my game versus Keith, where I think we both attempted to make something like between the two of us 10 passes, and only one of them succeeded. It just my fucking guys couldn't catch, they couldn't throw the ball, they couldn't do anything. And I spent the whole game trying to get this guy a TD, which I finally did, and then he got MVP anyway. So I was like, my god. Oh, and then a peasant died as well. So yeah, kind of got stuck in this the rough cycle of death. And
Can you go back to the team image again? I just really enjoy seeing only one peasant. And makes all the 4 knights. That's so good.
Yeah, I've been running with a lot of journeymen. I think I took 2 or 3 a bench against Woody, and they all still got cleared off as well. So,
Wow.
like, I still ended up players down.
So I guess on you've got your 2 blockers with guard, which
is quite nice.
is good, and then you've got the blitzers. You got two with dodge. So you've got the start of a team. You just don't have the end of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like I think I've also had 2 games where I didn't get any SPP. So.
Oh, as in like even your like MVP went to like a dead peasant or something.
Yeah, one went to a dead and one went to a journeyman.
Nice.
So that like the game against Woody, I didn't get any SPP, and I think the game against someone else, I can't remember who, might have been Steve's Jobs. I'm not sure. I didn't get any SPP, so I've kind of just fallen really far behind the train. So it's gonna be kind of like quite hard for me to claw my way out of it, unless I can start rolling pretty well on my winnings. Because at this point I have to just spend money to buy peasants so I can eventually have a bench.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bretonnians, a fun time for the whole family.
That's sad.
Yeah, I remember playing when I was playing against Woody. He just basically formed the ball landed the spot. He formed a cage, and I was like, I have nothing that I can do to deal with this cage. So I just got pummeled. Yeah. So, but you know, and I've been trying to do some crazy plays, and they keep dropping the ball, unfortunately. So it's just
Yeah, I feel
just
like you've
not
kind
having
of alluded to it, but would you say that the catch skill has not been doing work for you? So
the catch skill has been working fine. I find not having a catch is good. It's even what would be really good is if you actually had a thrower who could pass the ball to the people with catch, because that's where it keeps going wrong. The
Gotcha.
Knights keep stuffing up the throw.
You and Oliver can make your own little podcast channel later. I just talk about the many failings of Knights.
Yeah, like they were doing good early in the season. I think that first night dying, and then kind of falling behind the pack really kind of hurt this team.
I love how you said they were doing good, but one of them died in the first game.
Yeah, that did.
You know, they were doing good for the first 3 turns, but
yeah, I think like it's more just like falling behind the pack SPP wise that's really hurt this team. I think that's kind of like the thing that kind of.
And this is the first league we've done too with 12 players, so it's the falling behind the pack will be even more exacerbated by the fact there'll be more games. So the snowball effect in either direction will be even greater, right?
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see that not just in my team, but kind of in the scoreboard as a whole. Like we can kind of see that the teams at the bottom are just having a lot harder time. Less of a middle ground, I guess. But let's play the Crusaders. I'm 20 more than what I started, guys.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. We've run out of time there, but yeah, I'll make one last point, just agreeing with you, I guess, which is that we are on match 7. So if this were an 8-player league, this would be the last match before the finals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, let's look at a human team that's done a little bit better, shall we? Which is the Weebs and Chads.
I mean, they're actually on the scoreboard. They're below you.
Oh, really? How the hell has that happened? My team's got freaking decimated. What the heck?
You've got 2 wins, and Oliver's only got 1 win.
Oh, so he just drawed everything, has he? Okay.
He's got 2 losses.
His team is just so much better than mine, though, at the moment.
Player then, hey?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess like the wins 3 points and the loss draws only 1, and you don't lost 0, so you don't. Yeah. Right. Well, do you want to take us through this one, Connor?
I think Lewis should take us through this team.
Yeah. All right.
I think this is the first time I've seen the team's slogan, and I'm deeply upset.
How did you not see it earlier?
I think I've actively avoided it, to be fair. All right, great. So, as we all know, I will be up against this team in the last round. So it'll be very interesting to see how we kind of co-develop over time.
Yeah. As we know, you clearly are the bad guys in that matchup.
Yeah, this poor team's just waiting.
Not the just about undefeated undead, the literal necromancers. They can't be the bad guys. It must just be.
Have you seen them? Their team's all about love and true love. It's romantic.
Yeah, that's it. It never dies. Okay, so I guess a thing with this is obviously Oliver doesn't love big guys. And part of that means that I think part of his strategy for getting the most out of his ogre is often to not trust him to do anything.
I'm going to be honest, I totally 100% back that strategy.
I actually think it's really good.
I think, look, and anyone who was around last season knows that by the end of the season, my strategy was entirely just having a big guy with tentacles and making sure he stood there for as much of the game as possible. But it also does mean that his ogre has 2 SPP.
Yeah.
And a lot of other big guys are already getting things like, block and stuff like that.
I guess with my experience with big guys, I think you need the ogre on this team. I think you're just waiting for that game that they pop off or get the MVP. Like that's what you're waiting for. Because once you get one skill on them, they're so much more useful. Whether it be block or guard or something else, but I think Oliver's just been a bit unlucky and nothing's really happened with Chad yet.
Yeah, and I think just kind of across the board, like a lot of characters on this team are kind of moments away from greatness. There's a lot of just about leveled up guys. Like why don't you date a nice guy is pretty close to level 3, a couple of blitzers that are a pass or a TD away. So I think by the end of this season, this team's going to look a lot better than it does currently, I think.
Yeah, you go, Connor?
I was just going to say, it's one of those classic things of just like imagine if Oliver was Brooke, because like Brooke's human team by this point was like, what was he? He had like a speed
I
9
yeah,
catcher
that
and
was
like
yeah, that was
like
fucking
all
ludicrous.
these
I think
ridiculous.
something else that I've noticed just from playing humans before is Oliver started with his catchers, and these catchers are really good. They're really good players. Just having a movement 8 player on your team is pretty nice with dodge at the gate. Is really good. It makes you really flexible. Brooke didn't start with the 2 catchers, I believe. Um, because like the catchers, while they're good, they have a tendency to get the SPP, and you really want the SPP on the blitzes. So I know a lot of players who play humans don't start with the catchers just so they don't have the option of scoring with them, and they have to score with the blitzes. And they get a skill on all the blitzes first, and then they pick up the catchers. Um,
Like the catchers are too good for their team,
they
basically.
just it's yeah they kind of end up scoring, and you want the blitzers to score. You want the SPP on the blitzers. Um, so I think usually people just take two extra linemen to start with, and I think you might get the apothecary or the reroll to start with, or something. You can get something else, and then they pick up the catches later. I think, or maybe like 2 throwers. Um, so
Yeah.
you got options. So because you
Um,
really want these blitzers, and he has got blitzers. They're close, but you really want them to level up. They're like the linchpin of the team. Um,
got about 30 seconds left. Any closing thoughts on the Weebs and Chads?
I like this dude has strip ball. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I thought that was
bludgeoning
pick
thrower.
for a moment, but no, it's strip ball.
Elf thrower basically, who's about to get another level up.
Yeah.
This thrower's good. So got a lot of good players. It's just like what Lewis said. Lots that are on the cusp of
He's got game,
yeah.
like particularly in this league, like he's like one of the more agility teams.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy. Yeah. um, I think that's
That
been a little bit of it. Just the humans that can agi, but they want to be able to muscle a bit, and it's quite hard to muscle in this league for the humans, I think. Anyway, this is the Weebs and Chads. I think they're a good team. It's good. Love to see a couple level ups of these blitzers. That'd be great. Do you want to do the Arch Nemesis, the Short Kings on tour?
yeah. One of
Let's
the
do
two
it.
dwarf teams both have the highest
Yeah.
SPP.
And look at this team. Do you want to go through this one, Connor, and then maybe Lewis, you can do another one?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going through Lewis' team, am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think for a moment. How many guys you got levels up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 level 2, 1 level 3. The runner with block and dump off's quite good.
Yeah, this guy's awesome. Can I just say, of course, I'll get you over. He's, apart from that moment where he got injured from the skink, such a good player.
I think the only weird bit you end up with him is because he's got block. Like often someone blitzing him doesn't take him down, but you have to make the dump off decision before you know that. So, but I've seen you use dump off just as a way to get the ball further down the pitch, which is something dwarves struggle with a bit. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like if someone gets a boat down on him, he might not be going down, but that might also either disengage him or at least tie up you rather than me getting tied up.
Yeah,
Can you do
and
a
with
handoff?
your second runner, nah, it has to be a pass. With your second runner, you can kind of pick it up and keep. Of course, I'll get you Uber kind of engaged. The Troll Slayer with Mighty Blow, love it. I think I was very lucky to injure him in our game very early because I was very worried about him just destroying all my Amazons.
Yeah, I think that was fully turn 2. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And then similar to Woody, you got the old,
Yeah.
strength 4 dude. The only thing I'll say is because Jeffro ran Dwarves last season, and I think Jeffro was a bit one-track minded, or a bit more one-track minded. But like Jeffro had just guard spam everywhere, like 4 guys with guard, like fuck other skills. You've gone a bit more diverse. So you've got 2 guard.
I think your diversity that's come out are kind of like the same. Who are we talking about? I guess like with Woody, where when you have leveled up, you've guys who would normally want to get guard, have gotten a fucking strength increase, or you've rolled a double on your
Yeah, roll doubles. Yeah.
you run it. So like a blitzer with dodge, a blodging dwarf blitzer is actually really fucking good. So because otherwise this blitzer would have guard,
Yeah.
I think also.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
the Longbeard didn't get the strength up and the Blitzer didn't get the dodge, I assume you would have just 4 guys with guard by this point.
Yeah, and I think I was even talking to you about it, Connor, but it was like that second Longbeard that leveled up and got the double 6 and the strength up. I was like, oh man, like I'm really tempted to just go guard anyway.
No,
Yeah.
I think you made the right choice though with the strength 4. That's gonna be so good. You got like and also with Jethro's team, I think a lot of his Longbeards leveled up. Like that, like he had a lot of Longbeards level up, but I think his Troll Slayers kept taking fucking injuries and stuff. Like he.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
There's strength 2, Troll Slayer.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and that's definitely where my other 2 Longbeards who are 2 SPP off leveling up are probably going to go. Like they're probably just going to get guard.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's literally all you need on them, and they're amazing. But you got 2 guard. That's when things start. 2 guard and a strength 4 piece. Like that's basically the same as having a guy next to him who ought to have guard, and you got 2 pretty good runners here, which is awesome too.
I'm a fan of them. I think I'm not sure if it's still the case, but of course I'll get your Uber was like the best runner in the league for a hot minute.
We'll check
there.
at the end. I think he still might be. I don't know who's.
Beautiful.
So he was definitely, which was crazy for a dwarf runner to be the fucking best runner. I think making dwarf breakaways is pretty fun.
And it's quite doable with this team because like no one's really looking out for that that dodge blitzer or that dodge runner. So it's like you can get to some places they don't expect a dwarf team to get to.
There's also a fair few fucking slow teams where they're like, oh, I can't get him, like, which is pretty funny. Fucking all that tackle, man. All that tackle.
Yeah, for dwarves being the slow team, you're actually like roughly the same speed as everyone else.
Yeah, I think 2 more games, and this is gonna have 2 more guard, and it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be dwarf scary. Have you versed the crackheads yet?
No, that's my next game.
Oh, okay, dwarf versus dwarf.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. There'll be a slog fest, I believe. Yeah, and 4 rerolls. It's nice. Although it's odd. Both
I just invested in that 4th reroll. I was like, do I get the big guy or do I get a reroll? I have to make a call here. Sorry.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say I just couldn't justify the big guy being secret weapon.
Yeah.
Personally.
It's interesting with dwarves. Once you get to this stage, you tend to not use any of your rerolls with them. I find they're just they're so reliable. The only thing you end up using it on is like go for it.
Oh, and I need them for every go for it. Don't you worry.
Although on the death roller, that could potentially be a decent next pick. I think next thing, you don't really need anything else, and it's fun to just bring it on when it's your drive and run over and the entire enemy team. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah.
Well, ironically now that I know I'm going into a Minotaur, I'm like, I might as well have.
In the
I don't have a great answer. But yeah.
It has dirty player as well, so you can foul pretty effectively with it too. So next up we have Action Post, and this team is looking similar to mine in terms of its amount of players, which is nice. And he's finally gotten his second blitzer. Do you want to take us through this one, Lewis?
Sure. So another team that kind of had a bit of a rough start, I think, fair to say. But again, is getting there. We've got a catcher that's on the cusp of level 3. We've got a thrower that's about to be level 3. We have a level 2, soon to be level 3 lineman, level 2 lineman. There's actually quite a lot of SPP, even though his team's been a bit beaten down. But yeah, I think it's just been a pretty tough season for him. But he's powered through. The mental has been there. I think there's quite a few of us this league that are really vying for most tilted.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I think that certainly, yeah, a few of us are contenders, and Nui is definitely up there.
Yeah, this is probably what I've watched a couple of his games, and I've seen Brooks Orcs passport dodges, and these fucking guys have. This thrower I think I've seen, great thrower. He has fucked up every single pass I've seen him he can try to make. Like picking up the ball, passing everything. The first time he does it, he fucking fails. And his blitzers, he's got the one blitzer he started with, is kind of leveled up, but his linemen are kind of the ones here that have been doing a lot of the work. As you can kind of see, his linemen have been scoring heaps.
I do find the Mighty Blow rush lineman pretty funny.
Yeah. It's a very bashy elf team. It's kind of weird. I
feel like there was a point where Nui just missed his like fourth dodge in one game, and he just decided, no, this is now a Mighty Blow elf team.
Yeah,
we're leaning in.
Yeah. I've seen him definitely stack the line and try and beat the shit out of his opponent. Whereas, I think when I played elves, my three line elves in the front line existed for one job and one job only, and that was to 2+ dodge away from the line of scrimmage.
I'll say, a bit of a shout out to Nui. Easily the most dedicated player.
For sure, yeah.
For the last season, we all know last 2 seasons we know Nui is the man. Playing Blood Bowl while looking after his kid. Then Luke saw that and he's like, "Oh, I want a shot at the most dedicated player." Luke's had a kid, and Nui's like, "Well, I'll raise you and I'll move to another country."
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah. So I think the last game Nui had, he was playing with a trackpad on a laptop.
Yeah. Which is, so we're gonna have to create a fucking award for this or something. I don't know.
I mean, do we? Won't Nui just win every time?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true.
The good thing about an award is it's got like a chance of anyone.
Well, then we just call it the Nui Award.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Nui Dedication Award.
Yeah, Nui Dedication Award
again.
Also, this catcher is quite ludicrous. I think I'm just gonna shout out to that.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed the speed 9 on first instance, so that's rude. I think he's just trying to live his gutter runner dreams by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think I think all that gutter runner bullshit from last season is sucked all his dodge capabilities out of these elves. So,
well, if he gets that speed 9 catcher dodge, then he's up. He's up in gutter runner territory.
Yeah, but didn't he have like a fucking speed 10 2-headed fucking dodge gutter runner or something like that? Fucking.
No, I don't think. I know he had a strength up on one and he had 2 agility 5 ones, but I don't think he ever got move up on them.
Yeah. I don't really have too much more to say. It's like the team's taking a lot of losses as well. You can see it's a player down. Which has been quite rough in this league because it's hard going from one bash team into another bash team and not being able to sustain the injuries that you're taking. He's kept Bruce, load up Lee with the movement bust, line of scrimmage duty, giving him block, put him on the front line.
Yeah, having a level 3 character with a movement and anything down is an interesting feeling, but I don't think that stops him doing his job.
Yeah, I think you just put him as guy on the line of scrimmage. He's perfect. He's not going to go very far. What do you think you get him next? He's got to level up. What's he?
Dodge.
Yeah, maybe just dodge. Yeah.
Piling on.
Yeah. Good for diving.
I mean,
that's 5 minutes too.
Yeah, Mighty Blow. The doubles for Mighty Blow. That's the dream. It's always Mighty Blow block elves. Right.
Well, I know we're moving on, but guard probably would actually be an interesting option given the way that he's playing. I think.
I think guard is, but of course elves, they dream of the strength access. Unfortunately. So doubles, I'm sure he's really keen for. Alrighty, so that's action post the only elf team I think this season. Yeah. Kudos, keeping the elf spirit strong. Bed Bath and Beyond, which I think is having a pretty shitty season. These guys.
Yeah.
So I've watched a couple of Jethro's games, and this beast of Nurgle is
I
hopelessly
love that
useless.
he has
I just,
0 SPP.
I have never seen. I've seen this game a lot, and I have never seen a big guy perform so shit so consistently as this fucking big guy. I think there was one game where it was like 12 turns, 12 of the 16 turns he was really stupid. And it wasn't even like, oh, he moved a guy away, so it's a 4+. It was like there was he'd committed to having someone stand next to him every fucking time, and he still failed it.
I think in our game, he actually wasn't really stupid for like 90% of the time. His entire purpose was just to be disgusting whenever one of my troll slayers tried hitting him. So it was just kind of I'm terrible, but you're terrible now as well.
Yeah.
It's
Jeff only has 2 level ups. Oh, hold on, he's got 2 not done yet. So a Pestigore. That Pestigore could get like sure hands or something. That'd be pretty sick.
Still, for game 7 and only now just getting a sure hands piece, that's pretty rough. These guys also, I don't know if he had the 3 rerolls to start with.
He started with 2.
Yeah, it's really expensive rerolls. I don't actually understand why Nurgle rerolls are so expensive, but they are. So, not having anyone who can, like, with sure hands, like a ball carrier at the start and then only having 2 rerolls, so like playing nobles is exactly the same thing, and it's so fucking hard. You just have to drop the ball. You just have to hope that you can pick the goddamn ball up. And yeah, it's pretty rough. Also, I think like he's got all this he's got a lot of anti-elf shit on this team, and there's only one elf.
It's a very not elf league.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, and this comes back to this, I guess goes to both Keith and Jeffro, is that I was thinking about why both Chaos teams are so low, and I guess my rough thought was maybe Chaos just require, like, they have that slow start. Maybe they require a little bit of that, like, just lucky attrition, like getting like a few lucky casualties in to help level their team up.
Yeah.
And maybe going against an entire league where most people have like above average armor, just makes those harder to pull off.
Yeah, mainly
slows the team down.
Feeding TDs to your Chaos Warriors is what I've seen people try and do. To get, because you really need to get the Chaos Warriors leveled up. I think most people usually first thing that they try and do with any Chaos team is level up a ball carrier and just get sure hands. Like that's like #1 priority. And that just can be really hard to do when you don't have sure hands.
Yeah, I think that was probably the one thing that I did well last season. Just that I picked my ball carrier and he did it. He did it for a season.
Yeah, it was Tisk, right? Tish.
Yeah, Tish or something, yeah. And then just having that sure hands dude is just like, it makes it... Because like the other thing is you only have 2 rerolls and none of these guys start with blocks. So the amount of fucking turnovers like these dudes did. And also, Nurgle Chaos Warriors, only agility 2, speed 4, so harder to actually give touchdowns when you want. Where you need them to, and then not really having many little teams to beat into, like elves or Skaven or human teams to just punch up early on. They did well against my team. They fucking almost pitch cleared me. I think I had like 2 knights left on the field, like at the end. So they can bash, but I think he just was going into, like, it's a really bashy league, so, like, going into lizards, into dwarves, into chaos dwarves, into all that sort of stuff so is pretty tough.
Well, it's also, you had 2 guys on the field, but he still wasn't able to translate that into a win.
Yeah, I did do some bullshit, though. Like, I just did some knight bullshit. And that game was, like, a game where his fucking big dude was useless. Like, literally useless all game. But like the fact that he was able to like beat up on my team and just fucking get some SPP and remove lots of players where he couldn't really do that against many of the other teams because they're all really tough and bashy.
I will say though, I think Jethro is definitely one of the people that's been really committed to like kind of the role play of their theme during their game a lot, and I've really enjoyed that.
That's
a good shout out.
I love the team, so I'm sad that it's not doing too well because it's a really cool theme, really clever.
Yeah, I always have flashback to my parents when I see this team. Oh, that's 5-minute alarm too.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, Wraith Bomb, fucking been useless. Maybe he's been better lately. I don't know. Carl's Calendar Girls. I guess Connor, it's your team. Do you wanna?
I mean, I did Lewis's team. So
Well,
someone
Lewis,
else
do you want to take us
mine.
through Carl's Calendar Girls?
The team that nearly wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I think the team's coming along really well, and I think they were kind of had some concerns going in, just kind of about being humans with dodge and whether that 3+4+ reroll would really get the job done. And I think it's worked out pretty well, especially and kind of, I think you've made the right call, Connor, kind of trying to play it both ways in being really bashy with all this guard, but also having that capacity for tearaways with the catchers and throwers being pretty built up as well, because you basically just have 6 blitzers,
Yeah.
and 2 of the blitzers are really good at catching.
Yeah, I guess I've tried to do, I guess, what theoretically my team should be good at, which is being flexible.
Can I
in
just say, your fucking catcher has literally exactly the same skills that my knight start with, and is fucking 20k cheaper. It's some
yeah,
fucking
but you know,
bullshit.
I didn't start with them. I had to level up into it.
Still calling bullshit.
If I can buy a player, surely that's got to be more expensive than one you got to level up into.
The knights are
I mean,
it's passing.
I don't know if we can do a 1-to-1 on that as well, because you know how much does a Chaos Warrior cost? With
I also
0
have
skills.
Armor 7.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Armor 7. Yeah, that's fair.
And your knights have +1.
But you haven't been too badly attritioned though, have you, Connor? Like
No,
in
my team's
the
done
league so
real
far?
well on that. I've been very cautious with my apothecary, and I did start with the bench, so I'm willing to lose players as long as it doesn't send them off for another game down the line. I've been trying to really keep my attrition going because I guess that was something I was very worried about managing.
I think yeah, I think with the Amazons it's like using that because they start real strong. Like that's their thing. They have a really good start.
Yeah.
But using that really good start to get ahead and get the skills you need early to survive the late game, the late league. When there is obviously more tackle and mighty blow, because that's what tears these ladies apart. So I think like just getting more block, more protection on them, more guard.
Yeah, the rough plan was just block and guard. I've gone for like that line. Lunar Cycle is probably going to be another wrestle piece. And then First Aid, probably I'm getting accurate. If you have any other hot recommendations. And yeah, having that ability to throw down to the 2 catches, and now that Agility 4 Blitzer as well.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
It's a pity the Agility 4 landed on the dude who already had guard. That's a bit of an anti-synergy. But you take what you get.
I mean, even in our game though, like you were able to do some pretty interesting maneuvering to make sure the guard was in exactly the right place and things like that.
Agility 4 on a dodge piece to be able to dodge away and then move back right into the middle of the thing where you want the guard was pretty good.
Definitely. I think having that Agi 4 with dodge means like tackle, you have to worry about tackle as much. It's a 2+ dodge anyway. Whereas like 3+ against a tackle piece is a bit more rougher.
I've been pretty lucky just in terms of like, as Lewis pointed out, I haven't lost too much in terms of attrition, but I've also like gotten a few injuries in. Like I killed your knight against Lewis. I managed to, unfortunately, I didn't stick too well, but like I did manage to like do a lot of.
What happened in that game? I didn't actually catch it.
I out attritioned Lewis on the first half and managed to get. What was it? I don't think anyone scored. Is that right, Lewis, in the first half?
No, I think you did score once in the first half, or maybe not. Maybe I got. Yeah, if it was like wait at the very end of the first half, I think.
Yeah. But I knocked. What's it called when they're out but they're not injured?
Oh, KO'd, knocked out.
Yeah, I KO'd like 3 or 4 dwarves.
Oh yeah,
Um,
nice.
And I
Yeah, and I
injured
think
the dwarf with no, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong here, Lewis. I might be getting the things mixed up. I think you KO'd a bunch of people, but they all got
yeah,
back up,
I
and
think
I
I'd
injured 3
KO'd
people.
5 or 6 of your players, and they all just came back in the
Oh,
second
yeah.
half.
Yeah, and I think I injured 3 of Lewis's, so they stuck.
Yeah, that's rough.
Real bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I've managed to level up those 2 people out of the game.
Yeah, I think that happened with Jethro a bit as well. He was like, I think against my team, he fucking removed most of it, but it was all just KOs. It wasn't like any injuries.
Yeah.
Which is just bad luck, you know. It's not really much you can do about that. You take what you can get.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
I
yeah, I
think
just had
Lord
to
is
kind of
scary.
work the number advantage where I
Have
could.
you played True Love Never Dies yet?
Nah.
No.
Where am I? I'm into Steve's Jobs next.
Ooh.
And
Well,
then
Steve
straight
Jobs
off the-
recruiting. I think Steve Jobs recruited someone from like every game. I think.
Yeah.
So
And then straight off Steve's Jobs, I'm into Jade, followed by True Love Never Dies, I think.
or there's actually a lot of bad.
Yeah,
That might you might actually take some cashes against.
Oh
Those.
no, that's actually not true. I go on the action post. That'll give me a slight reprieve,
Oh, yeah,
unless his
nice.
Mighty Blow dude starts fucking doing work.
I was about to say, hang on, what do you mean? Action Post could be the bashiest team in this league.
Yeah, they're like actually catching you.
And then I'm in the True Love Never Dies.
Yeah, I think you've I think you've used your Apothecary a fair few games, and it's always worked out quite well for you. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is good.
And I'm now at the point where with 13 players where I can even lose a player one game and still kind of be okay. Like I've got that bench.
Yeah.
I'm out of time as well.
Yeah, too easy. I think, I guess it's not too much more to say on this. I think it's just strong because it's relying on the core good skills in the game. Fuckloads of block, fuckloads of dodge, fuckloads of guard.
Yeah.
That's like 3
A
best
little bit of
skills in the
spicy
game.
wrestle.
Yeah, a little bit of nifty wrestle. You love a little bit of wrestle.
A little cheeky wrestle.
Yeah. And you got fuckloads of money, too.
Oh yeah, well I'll have to spend that.
You do have to. That's actually upping your that's upping your TV too, because every 10k over 150 adds to your TV. So you probably want to.
What do I do? Buy a reroll?
You buy a reroll. You can start looking at like if you're 100% happy with like where you are, you can start looking at things like stadium upgrades and stuff because they can be kind of handy. Yeah, it's Carl's calendar, girls. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, fan favorite, Theme Award. I haven't actually caught this Will's games in a while, actually, but his team does look like it's doing pretty well. I can't remember exactly where he is on the standings, but I think he's doing pretty well for his first season.
He's just below Woody.
Yeah, nice.
I know you just said you didn't catch that, but like the last game he just beat the Weebs and the Chads.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And then he drew with Nui the game before that, and then lost to Jade the game before that.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. That would have been a good match actually to see. First, and he's got some crazy players here going on.
Yeah, the guard goals.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess I'll go through this one. So
Yeah.
he's got Executive Steve, the Gargoyle. He's got HR Steve, the Blodge Ghoul. I don't know when he took the AV bus. That's pretty rough.
I think
it was very early on.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, very early on.
But he's committing to it. Love to see it. He's got a third Ghoul, so he's fucking Ghoul Central. This White, chef's kiss. Gotta love to see a tackle Mighty Blow White. And a Blodge White. Great. Awesome. Is the Guard Mummy relatively recent?
I don't think so.
Because
No, I think it's been around a little bit.
I know that Luke's team got the Guard Mummies like really early on. He got like both Guard Mummies, which were awesome. But this is awesome. Like the Mummy with Guards, just like so good. This one's just trucking along. And then a fuckload of skeletons and zombies, a lot of which that were taken from other teams, I think.
And
Albert Orkenstein, Hungry Jacks from my team.
I think it's just Just you and
I thought there was
you and
another
Brooke.
one. I thought he got someone from another one. Maybe like I thought he got one off Nui.
Doesn't look like it. I think maybe I know there was at least once where he killed someone and they probably carried it.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's a solid team. It's got some really good stuff here. I guess its only thing is it just doesn't have as much as like some of the more higher teams we've seen, but it's good. I got nothing. I don't really have much more to say about it. I think it's just really, really solid. There's got some really solid picks here.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see what happens with HR Steve. I guess in my mind, I think you hire Steve Bot 9000 to replace HR Steve.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just keeping them all in.
Yeah.
I mean, block on the goal's cool, but the armor 6 is
Yeah,
just so tough.
rough. Yeah. I mean, it's like hard
particularly-
because he's got blodge, so it's like
It's
bit of
cool piece,
protection,
yeah.
but you know, like if I'm looking there and I've got a tackle mighty below piece, I'm going for HR Steve. As soon as I get the chance.
I mean, this is a bit of a shout out to Will. This is I keep going to call him Steve. This is Will's first season he's played with us. He's done pretty well, as we pointed out before. He's 7th, just under Woody, and
he's done well in what I would
It's
consider.
really good to see him develop too.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like learning the skills, you know, I know that particularly. I think there was a game where he didn't have ghouls, and so he had to figure out what's his ball handler when the ghouls aren't around. That's where he kind of realized the whites can do a bit of heavy lifting. You know, just stuff like that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I'm really keen to see what he does next season. Yeah, I think he's done very, very well in what I would consider actually a really tough season. Like it's like a tough season, I think, in terms of just like the composition of the league, and just the fact that everyone who's in the league now has been playing for a while and is actually pretty good. So yeah, he's done really well to do as well as he has. Because if you go early on into a bashy league, you can have a real rough time. But yeah, nice work. I really want to see him take one of your Amazons, Connor.
Yeah, well, that's the next. So tune in.
Yeah, definitely have to catch that game. Hopefully,
I'll send you a calendar invite.
I got a feeling it'll be on Tuesday. It's the thing. You guys have all been playing on like Monday or Tuesday, which is like the days I go to training. So it's like I can never catch any.
I mean, Monday and Tuesday are my pizza making days. I normally don't play on those 2 days.
Nice. Well, I'll definitely catch that. I definitely want to watch Steve Jobs vs. you. I think that'd be a really cool game. Next up, Devil Wears Prada. This I just played Keith and we had a really fun game, but it was like, fuck man, our team's just shit. We just couldn't fucking do anything. Like, we're both struggling to pick up the ball. So he's got the Chaos Warriors.
Chaos Warriors are just injury magnets. Like one's died, I think.
Yeah,
I think he's got 7 injuries on them.
He like when I was playing him, he was terrified to throw blocks with him because I think I've never seen. They just always both down, like double both down every time.
So sad.
So if you go and watch the game, every time he tries to do something, they double both down and go down, and which is like wasn't too bad against my team because like they there's not a lot of block, but I can imagine playing against all the dwarves and stuff like that is just shit.
Yeah.
But
there's so much block in this league.
Yeah, it's actually crazy how much block there is in this league. It's but yeah, these poor Chaos Warriors have just been every time I've seen them try to do something, they just stack it. They fucking knock themselves down. They get injured all the time, even though their armor's so high. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So
one thing I will say, going in Keith's favor, is at least he can field a full team.
Yes.
Like, but yeah, it's been tough. And I guess I'll also kind of say what I said earlier about Jeffro, which is that I think just the natural attrition of kind of blocks and casualties maybe is a requirement, and it's hard to do that when everyone has good armor.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got like it's kind of like the same thing we're seeing where it's just not being able to get off the ground. Like a couple of teams just not being able to get off the ground, and then all the other teams or many of the other teams have like gotten off the ground, and then because these ones are like there's a few teams that are really behind on I guess the skills. Like still doesn't have he's got an extra arm beastman, which I think might have been out for my game. I think it was MNG'd. You know, so he didn't have his ball handler, and you really want another one with sure hands, you know,
or even the same guy.
Yeah, or if even
I'll tell you what is probably my most anticipated game of next week. Is Keith and versus Jeffro.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
The two chaos.
Is that next week? That's very exciting.
Yeah, this week.
This guy did well. He was fucking taking peasants out when I played against him. He's a good piece. And same with this guy with the block. They're good. They're like, I would say that these two are fucking carrying this team because all his other players just fucking either tripped over themselves or double skulled all the time. It was actually my game against Keith. I think was one of the fastest games I've ever played. I think we knocked it out in an hour just from the like
just because
we just turned over all the time. Yeah. So it was so fast. But yeah, this is like an example of like Chaos are a really good team, but if they have a rough start, and if they can't get past that rough start, this is kind of what they just get into that cycle. They just can't do anything. So don't feel too bad, Keith. They Chaos are awesome when they get off the ground, but if they don't get off the ground, they're a really rough team. Anything else to add about Devil Wears Prada?
Look, I have undying sympathy for this situation. You know, I went through it last season. I just never felt like I could ever get a level up on anyone.
Yeah.
And just seeing this Chaos Warrior situation is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. It's yeah.
Heart goes out. Thoughts and prayers are with you, Keith.
Thoughts and prayers. Yeah.
Do you have any hot recommendations for this one Chaos Warriors going to level up?
I mean, the thing you want on them is block. You just want block. Yeah. You just want block on the Chaos Warriors. It might turn out to be a little too late at this stage, but like I just like think if you, Keith, you're listening, go back to our game and fucking see how many times these Chaos Warriors would have been saved if they had block. It was pretty much every single time you threw a punch with them, they fucking double both down. And if you had block, they would have been fine. And then it also helps them actually get the SPP that they want.
Yeah,
they just want block. They just want block. And they're awesome when they got block.
Alright, that's the 5.
Yeah, that's Devil Wears Prada.
A quick shout out though, Fishtagore definitely has capacity to end up being that Claws Mighty Blow. Pylon guy. So I think keep an eye out for that, because I think at this point he may truly just choose violence moving forward.
Yeah, I think next level up on this guy, which is not too far off, claws or piling on, Keith, and then you just fucking murder people with this guy. That's his job. You blitz with him every time, and you just fucking try to remove a piece. Right, it's Devil Wears Prada. True Love Never Dies, the leaderboard. Luke's team. Is this Luke's season, Connor? Is this the one? It's all looking so well for him. Or will this be like Nui last season, where everything was in favour and then it all came crashing down at the last minute?
I mean, he hasn't got the attrition that Nui has. Like, you know, true. I mean, if he can keep his spot, like, I guess it is. It's probably his season to lose.
Well, Lewis, you can take us through this magnificent beast of a team.
Yeah, look. Well, until very recently, entirely undefeated.
Still undefeated.
I think they've lost a game, haven't they?
No, they've drawn a game.
I see.
Who drew them out?
Planet of the Orcs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. There you go. Sorry, I thought they'd lost. So undefeated, as Oliver would say. But
Oliver can't say it.
I mean, it's definitely just worked out pretty well that it's just a team with quite a few answers, and it'll bash you. You know, like it's not about doing anything fancy. It's just, hey, we have a couple of early guard mummies, so we own the middle of the board, and there's nothing you can do about that. And then we have a couple ghouls, but we only have one ghoul. Oh no, two ghouls, but one of them, three ghouls. One of them's currently MNG'd, and one of them has a speed down. Wow, there's really
from what I've
theme
seen,
here.
he treats these ghouls like he treated his fucking skinks when he was playing Lizardman, where he just has no care for their life, and he'll just throw them into like a position to just yep, let's go. They're going in. We're going in hard, and we'll commit. And then yep, I need you to get punched by a dwarf right now. You may die, but you mean nothing to me. So
you may die, but that's the sacrifice
I'm
willing to make. Yeah.
Do you reckon he stole that guard ghoul for Cheetos? Do you reckon that was stolen from Steve Jobs? Do you reckon he's like a Chinese company?
Yeah, oh, that's another guard. Yeah,
reverse engineer technology.
Yeah. Do these guys have general skills? I can't remember. They do have general. I'm surprised we haven't seen a blodge one yet, but oh, he's got his classic sidestep.
I think my favourite's the Dauntless Gun.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing pick though, and I one thing I think that he's done really well is he's really built his team well into this league. Like he's kind of thought about what are all the combinations in there, and he's got a kind of answer. The only thing I would say he is missing is tackle. It's the only thing I think he's missing is like one white with tackle, which is probably what this guy will get when he levels up. And this dude, this is awesome. I think getting the guard mummies early on, let him keep up with the bash of the other teams, and this is a really nice combination. Strength 5, guard, stand firm, mighty blow. What's the not to love? You can't push this guy away. He is just a pillar.
Yeah.
That hurts.
I think the only thing that strikes me as potentially a little bit weird is I think it was quite early on, this white got frenzy.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too, eh?
But hey, everyone should follow their dreams, so that's fine.
I thought it was weird, but I actually think it's not a bad idea. It gives him surfing options, and it's an extra block. Like, this guy can throw an extra block every turn, so he can more consistently knock people down. And he's got block, so it's like it's pretty safe. The only thing I'd worry about is him getting kind of pulled out of position a bit, but yeah, I think he's just done it to get that catch people off guard and surf people. Does that make sense? To get some sneaky surfs, which is probably a clever play if you're dealing with all these really heavy armored pieces. Just push them off the fucking board.
Yeah, look, I guess I kind of. Sorry, now you go, Connor.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know if Luke's thought this much about it, but it might be like a really good, clever way to get like. Sometimes you want to unstick the mummies, and being able to frenzy people away from the mummies might be a really good way to reposition them.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think he should take a leaf out of your boat, Connor, and I think if this mummy levels up again, I'd go break tackle on him for sure.
Yeah.
And because then you can't just pin him down, unless he rolls double. So if he rolls double, get block. But yeah. I think he's just got it's a team that's just got a lot of options. That's what makes it really good. It's got a lot of different options and a lot of different answers to problems. He's got 3 guards, so he can bash.
5 as well.
Yeah. He's got frenzy. He's got stand firm. He's got dodging pieces. He's got relatively fast pieces. He's got fucking lot of cannon fodder, so he can attrition. And this regen skill, I think, is just like it's perfect for this season. I think the regen is just like keeping his attrition. It's kept his whole team alive. I think it's done really well. Yeah, so that's True Love Never Dies. I think that's they're kind of dominating.
Can you go back to the other one? Because True Love Never Dies is 1400, and then Short Kings is. Oh, what are you doing?
You want Short Kings? You want?
No, I just want to see just general TV. So Short Kings 1420, Crackheads 1490, and then that's the upper TV. Steve Jobs is 1370. So yeah, they're all like quite a bit higher than everyone else. Those 3.
Yeah. They do have True Love's. He has a rather large bench though. Like that's something to consider. I think that's and he's done his level ups. I think doesn't he have 2 level ups he's still to do?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of us that still have to level up, aren't there? Yeah, I'll probably be up near the 1400s too. Yeah.
And Seraphon All Stars is the last team to
This is
look at.
this is Jade's team, and
Yeah.
Jade's another newcomer, just like
He's done
Will.
pretty well. And would you look at that? Block and guard. Whoa.
He's learnt real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the level up on the skinks. The leap, and is that the other one? Diving tackle.
Diving tackle was the first one he got, and that's a really clever
Yeah.
kick, I think. Yeah.
I love diving tackle.
Yeah, it's so good. It's fucking awesome on skink.
This is the block and guard league.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like diving tackle in this league is not as useful as it was in other leagues. Just because I think everything else is probably going to be more content to just try and punch a skink in the face rather than dodge away. But it's good to have it. It's good to have one.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to put on like a ball carrier.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's both worse and better because, like, sure, not as many people are going to dodge away, but like when they do dodge away, diving tackle's almost a guaranteed fail. Whereas, like with an elf, like they've still got a chance.
Yeah. And his Saurus are coming along nicely.
I almost don't know what to say about this team. Like, it's just it's a classic Lisbon thing. Like, it's all fundamentals. Like, obviously the Croxagore kicks ass. The fact it's got a block is really good.
I think the fact they got block on that really early is what made it kick ass. Like, I think after his first game, he got block on the fucking Croxagore, which is I've seen Lisbon players that dream of having that, you know. Because he has to get doubles to get it. So it's this is literally all this fucking thing needs to be awesome.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even realize you had to get doubles. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. So this is what Luke's wanted his Croxagore to be able to do. Just charge forward, fucking block things down. But instead his Croxagore's just died.
Yeah.
Also, there you go, Jade. Not letting your Croxagore kill itself on the first game of the league. Pro plays.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, some Lisbon player dream of block. Some Lisbon player just dream of having a Croxagore.
Yeah. having two.
It's all
I think maybe picking up another skink to have a bench. He's just 100k.
I will say, Jade's worked very hard to get those Saurus level ups. I've seen the old touchdown with the Saurus going. I've seen him pass the Saurus, like when he could. Like, that's just it's crazy.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. You gotta feed them the TDs. Fortunately, they're speed 6 though. They're not fucking slow, so you can if you can actually get them the ball, they can run up the field.
I mean, if in Jade's next game, Mu Sefiai, if Mu Sefiai gets the ball and passes it to
just
UW,
spends fucking ages passing agility.
Yeah, he gets a level up and the other one gets a touchdown. That's 2 more Croxagores. That, easy.
That's a fucking really good front line though. When you have all your Saurus with block, it's one of the best front lines in the game. It's really it's really hard to deal with. Which I think.
Would you, if one of the other Saurus gets a level up, more block or like another guard? I'd be tempted to go 2 block, 2 guard, and then just go blocks from there out.
In this league, I would want another guard.
Yeah.
Just because normally in a normal league, probably not. You'd give this thing guard and then get all of them block and then maybe another one or one of them guard maybe. But usually a Lisbon team have the strongest front line. Like there's fucking not much that can beat up a fucking 6 Saurus. But just because this is a really bashy league, you kind of need some more guard to maintain that dominance, because nothing's sadder than seeing Saurus getting fucking bashed around. It kind of like really limits their options if the Saurus are getting bashed.
I think Jade's in for a pretty good next game.
Yeah, I think even if he chooses to bring this back in All-Stars, this is looking like a really solid team. He hasn't really taken any big injuries. They're just solid. Attrition, everything's getting what it needs to get. He's working it, you know. His skinks have come off relatively unscathed.
It might be one to watch too, Jade. I'm just looking at the games he's got left to play, and say his next game's against you.
Oh yeah,
So
that's probably easy
I
win for
hate
him.
to
Yeah.
throw you under the bus here, Carl, but I think he's favoured
What would
there.
well if you were me, what the fuck would you do against Stixorus and a Croxagore? Fucking the,
Feed them some more peasants.
yeah, they're in rather short supply at the moment, Connor. So
Yeah.
I think last
But
time I
that could
played,
be
yeah,
a chance for him to get some level ups, get another win. He's against me next. I mean, obviously I'm hoping I win, but who knows? Then after me is against Jeffro. Unfortunately, if Jeffro's current position on the ladder is anything to go by, it means Jade's potentially in for another good game.
yeah, true.
Following Jeffro, he's up against Oliver, and that could be another really good team to bash around. Like I think if the next few games of Jade's go well, Jade could actually be a real good contender for the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah, I think that the issue with there's going to be like those. He seems like he's versing a lot of the teams on the bottom of the ladder, and as one of those teams, we just don't have the tools to deal with a fucking like beefed up
Yeah, it'd be a
Saurus.
monster team. Just
Yeah.
everyone's got strength 4,
Hmm.
potentially strength 5 if that guard did run. Oh, the 5 minutes just ran out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this could be a real strong end of season team.
Yeah, and the season run for him. Yeah, that's true, and that would put him in quite a good spot. So we might see him in finals potentially. But that's all the teams. That's everyone. You didn't have anything you wanted to add about this, Lewis, before we?
No, I think all I was going to say, and this is kind of just a broader thing, but I feel like we're probably going to end up in a situation similar to last season where, 5 or 6 teams are really vying for that last finals spot.
Yeah, I think I
So I
agree.
think that it's going to be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's have a look at that now. As we kind of finish with the teams, I can bring back up the spike if you'd like. So there we are. I'm looking at the wrong thing myself. But like if we look at it, I don't know if you boys have got yours open. Potentially, so Seraphon at this stage are already 4th position, so they're already in a good spot to make finals. There is Short Kings on tour are only a win away. Same with Crackheads a little bit more. But I think
I've put good money on the Seraphim. Like
Yeah.
Short Kings and Tour only 1 away, but I think they've got quite a number of good teams to go against. Like Crackheads against Short Kings, straight into Short Kings against True Love Never Dies. Like you might have a challenging end of season ahead of you.
I think
I
yeah.
100% do. Yeah.
I think actually kind of the wild card here, what it's really going to depend on is how your team goes in its games. I think because like you said, you've got like some leeway, but you are going into some bash teams. So if you have some pretty potentially bad games, then maybe Short Kings or Crackheads could sneak in there, potentially. Steve's job.
We've
maybe.
got a lot of league left as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, this is the mid-season point, so we've still got half a season to go.
Yeah, so yeah, it could really change the whole. I mean, Luke's team might just start rolling bad in its regens, and he might lose both his mummies in one game. I wouldn't put him past him to use that strategy.
It's a coin Luke strategy.
Yeah. I mean, it's got him to finals in the past, so maybe it's just like a sacrifice he's got to make. But yeah, I guess in my bets, I would say True Love Never Dies. I reckon it will be in finals, and this could go anywhere. It's like we've got half a season left. Planet of the Orcs, I think they've been pretty dominant. I would put Seraphim's All Stars over you, Connor. No offense.
Yeah, no, I'd put them above me too.
And
then it might just be the fight for that 4th position,
yeah,
like last
I think the Amazons, and then maybe the 2 Chaos, the 2 Dwarf teams. I think will be the next one. But you never know. Like there could be some like even Weaves and Chads if they start bringing back a game, could jump back up there.
Yeah.
Because they
I'm not putting my money on you, Carl. Even though you do have 2 wins, I think you're just gonna run out of steam.
I think I'm just gonna run out of players. I think most of the players down here at this bottom end, we're just running out team, just running out fucking team. Whereas at least the humans here, like they're taking injuries, but they've still got a full team left, so they could potentially have a couple of good games and get in. But like I'm running out of peasants, so it's knights and shit next, so they're going to be fucking losing. And those I guess now we can look at the. Actually, before going on that, we'll look at the matchups in a bit. But anything? What are your bets? You reckon, Lewis? What would you put money on?
Yeah, look, I think the third and fourth spots are definitely going to get really interesting. But I think it's probably a relatively safe bet that we have like a True Love Never Dies and a Planet of the Orcs in top 4. I think Connor's probably got a bit of a better shot than the noises that I think he's making. But no, it'd be really interesting to see where that lands, I think. But yeah, 3 and 4, I think, are probably really anyone's game, given that we're halfway through the season.
Yeah, I agree. And then
apart from potentially the Chaos teams, unfortunately.
I guess yeah. Steve's. Well, we'll have a look at like the next week's matchups. So first we've got Seraphim All-Stars.
I had one question because you said you were going to check it earlier. Weren't you going to check who was the best runner or something? I feel like.
We'll go through the matchups and I'll quickly duck back in. I'll change it over to Blood Bowl 2 and we'll have a look at some of the stats. Cool. Will be a cool fun one to finish off. So next week we've got Seraphim All-Stars versus Flavor Crusaders. I mean, I'm playing Flavor Crusaders and I'm still chalking my bets on Seraphim All-Stars. I am going to have a front line of Journeymen. I'm only going to have about 3 Peasants and they're going to die fucking fast.
I think they have laws about betting on the opposite team.
I just think if I, after first turn, still have Peasant left, I'll be pretty impressive. And I think once he's done with my Peasants, I'm just not going to be able to lock those Saurus up. So I think, hopefully for me, I just get lucky on the armor rolls, or on the block dice, because Peasants can tie up the lizards, the Saurus, pretty well when they're not dead.
Yeah.
So that's my game plan. Let's see how it works out for me, Cotton. Planet of the Orcs versus Weeds and Chads.
I mean, I think Planet of the Orcs is the obvious favourite, but if Oliver pulls this off, if Oliver manages to pull out, that could be like the upset that that we need to really throw things into.
And we've had at least one upset every season, I think. So there's definitely one out there. Weaves and Chads are in a bit of a bad spot though. They've got like 2 players out, so it's going to be a hard game into the Orcs, I think. The Crackheads of Chaos versus the Short Kings on Tour. It's going to be a good game to watch. That's going to be really interesting to see who. I guess it's just going to be where the armor breaks first.
Yeah, because we have pretty very similar front lines, all things considered. Yeah. The only thing is he's going to have a Minotaur there, probably.
Yeah,
so I think it'll kind of come down to whether the big guy is good or a detriment.
Yeah, that's I think that's it's going to be on that how that Minotaur performs. He's got the Bull Centaurs too, but I think you've both got answers to each other's stuff, which is going to be making it interesting.
I want to see your Mighty Blow Slayer take out the Minotaur. That'd be sick.
True Love Never Dies versus Action Post. This could potentially be a good upset. So can I bring it up? But we've seen that Luke's Undead have been quite dominant this season. So yeah. Good luck, Nui.
I believe in Nui and his trackpad.
I think hopefully elves have learned how to elf by now. But really, the game to watch is Devil Wears Prada versus Bed Bath & Beyond. The 2 Nurgle, bottom of the ladder brawl. That'll be an interesting and fun game, assuming Keith's internet doesn't fucking shit itself again.
Keith is that's insane.
Yeah.
I'll share a funny quick story about my internet with the entire anyone watching this, which is on Thursday while I was working. One of the cats threw up on the modem.
Nice.
And that did cause internet issues.
Yeah. Really? Oh, go figure. He has a lot of issues with internet for living in like inner city Brisbane or something. It's pretty funny. And lastly, you're up against Steve's Jobs, which could, I think, honestly go any way. I guess you're a much more experienced coach than Steve, but Steve's shown us in the past that he's pretty good. So,
Steve's name's Will. But,
and that's confused us all, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to this. I've been, as I said before, I've been really enjoying seeing Will's progress.
I think it's going to be a classic. Can the Mighty Blow roll a POW?
Yeah, I think I mean I'd love to see one of your calendar girls join his team personally. I
Which
mean,
which would be your pick, Carl?
oh,
If you
I
could
was actually
schedule in
gonna
one of the calendar girls
I was
to
gonna
change
actually
team.
check that when we were looking at your team. I was gonna ask which one would you want to lose. We ran out of time.
I think Rachel's birthday would be quite funny, but probably the most thematic one would be 24th of September, because that date
Yeah,
is
yeah,
no
that would
longer
actually
a
would
correct
be
date.
yeah.
And then
If
I
only he
would
could change the
be able
name
to
to
chalk
like
up a new date.
yeah. That actually I'd play for that. That sounds good. But yeah, it's a matchups next week. It's gonna be good. I think are we keen to get back into it? I think everyone's been pretty busy and a lot going on this week. So yeah. Now before we finish up, I'll quickly change back over to Blood Bowl, and I'll see if I can bring up the Hall of Fame for season 4.
Oh, good old Amon Rand.
Yeah, Amon Ran. Maybe just give it a second. Sometimes it does this. Back out. And see if we can get. Hopefully. There we are. That's better.
There we go.
So
Of course, I'll get you, but it's 2 for most. Oh, that's most experience.
Yeah, so I think it's like high, either SPP or most games. We've got a few contending for most violent, and of course action post, best receivers, serial killers. We're inclusive, Stevie, and Chopper Ready.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I just love that we're inclusive. Steve is the biggest murderer.
But look at
Beautiful.
look at this fucking death. Look at this death this season. It's just freaking ridiculous. And like most of that is my peasants. So,
Are you saying it doesn't really count? Is that
Well-
what you're getting at?
I mean, there is an economy on that. There's a certain limit where it does start to go into the coffers. No intercepts this season, probably largely because there's only like 2 teams passing the goddamn ball. So yeah, it's like my tabletop league. I think there's literally in our tabletop league there was 1 team that made passes out of 20 teams. 2 teams.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
there's 2 teams trying to pass the ball, and strangely enough, I think mine is one of them.
Biggest brutes, that's just knockout, so that's a lot more of that. Makes sense. Best thrower is of course by a fucking long mile. Action post. Arnie ML Warslegger. Just throwing all
And then
day.
shocking to
Then short kids not too, of course we'll get you either. So
Incredible.
nice. And then a bunch of orcs that have just been doing passing practice in the backfield whenever they get the opportunity. Best rusher, of course get you either. He's still on top. He's on top by a long way, dude. He is
Incredible.
incredible. Yeah.
My Agi dwarf team is only gonna get Agier as the league goes by.
Yeah, nice. You'll love to see it.
I promise it to you all.
Yeah.
We're going to see the wolf with leave.
There we go, kill you. And yeah, so best punching bag, of course. I was about to say I'm not on this list. I haven't seen any of my players on there, but punching bag, the Mint the Fresh up there.
Followed by me.
Yeah. Hey, Vermin Crow. That was your player from like last season.
And what a good name. It's good to see him somewhere. One of my most favourite names.
Yeah, he's playing on how he left the field.
Yeah.
So.
It's pretty fun. I'm been scrolling through the Hall of Fame from the Spike thing, and I guess it speaks to like my team's quite like spread out. So like I haven't really got any like big impact players anywhere, and like probably the highest ranked player I've got anywhere just happens to be my catcher is ranked 4 for top killer for just some random reason.
That's so funny.
But apart from that, I'm pretty low down most of the other ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
they are pretty much just another blitzer for you, though, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because my catcher got 1 kill and then must have scored, so that like tie breaks him up alongside all the other 1 kill people. But yeah, I think because most of my people can do anything, like my impactness is spread out among my team. As
Yeah.
opposed to in
No
one
big-
individual player.
Everyone's just
Eamon
too
Rand
good.
this season.
Yeah, no, I'm on rare.
carrying the team. All right. Well, I guess we might. I think that's pretty much it. I think we'll finish it there. Looking forward to next season, which the round will start or be officially confirmed tomorrow evening. After
You mean next week? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So next week, so feel free to start organising your games. As always, let us know, either myself, Connor, or Brooke, if you need a extension on the round. Looking at you, Nui, because I know you're moving very very soon. So hit us up if you want more time.
But and maybe this is a good chance to clarify something. So if a week runs over like it did last week, it's still the new week only starts on the Sunday, even because I guess
Yeah.
the last week ran over by half a week. You guys finish your game on the Wednesday, and then we will start the next week as of the
Yes,
Sunday.
on the Sunday. Yes,
following,
we try always keep it that Sunday time.
just to avoid confusion.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I guess we'll end it there, guys. So.
Well, yeah, awesome. Cheers for coming too, Lewis. Last
That's
minute,
all right. Thanks for having me.
No
sharing
worries.
your wisdom with everyone.
It was literally the least we could do. So, all right, guys. See you later. See everyone on the pitch.
Ciao.
Bye.